Today we're really excited to share with you scenarios within Sota. So it's one of our most requested features, so delighted to be able to release it today for you. So let's dive straight in. This is our demo company here, and you'll recognize on the left-hand side our model inputs, our financials, our dashboard, but you also now see a fourth section, which is our scenarios. So we can enter a maximum of 2 scenarios at this stage. And so let's go ahead and add a couple of scenarios. So let's call this scenario 1. And let's say we want to look at the adjusted pricing in this particular scenario. So we can create our scenario. So now we have our scenario 2 here. The details are looking at the adjusted pricing. And on the left-hand side, we can now see we have our base, which is our original model, and our first scenario. So let's go and add another one. So we'll add this as scenario 3, for example. And this one you might look at some aspect of our cost of sales. And let's say we're going to look at our transaction fees. Okay, so now we have our 2 scenarios, which we can see here on our dashboard and our menu on the left-hand side. So if we go into our first scenario, we can see now we're in this particular scenario, so we can make whatever changes we want to. So in this one here, we're going to actually go in, we're going to edit the price. So let's say we're going to change this from 950 to 750. We can see here in black that it's been changed. We can also revert back to the original pricing if you want, to the original within the model. Let's say we want to edit also the membership fee, so we can change that from 10 to 15. And again, we can see that that updates here. And if we want to delete a particular revenue stream or revenue within a revenue model, we can just delete directly here. So it remains in place. You can just see that it now becomes red, but you can always revert back to it if you want and reinstate it. So that's our first scenario. So let's say we want to go and look at our next scenario. So we can see it's now changed to our next scenario. And if we go back into our inputs, this one we're going to look at the cost. So if we look at our transaction fees here, we can say, let's say we want to update this from 2.5% to 3%. We can simply go in and edit this to 3% and save. And again, we can see how this changed. So again, let's go back in and have a look at our base. And if we look at within our base, we can see that in our financials, for example, and our cash flow, based on our original model, we are looking at ending the year with a deficit of 23,000 euro. But if we look at our second scenario, we can see how changing the price has affected this. So we're now going to a deficit of 71,000 by decreasing our pricing by 200 euro. So that's the kind of insights you can get from using scenarios. And if we go back into our scenario section, we can easily see what those changes are that we've made. So here we can see we've just looked at the revenue side of things, and we've made changes to something within our certificate, our membership, and we've deleted our transaction fees. And down below we can see in our third scenario, we've made a change to our cost of sale, specifically to our transaction fees. So that's scenarios. So really excited to get it into your hands. If anyone's any comments or questions or thoughts, please let us know. You'll see this on your navigation bar on the left-hand side whenever you log back into Sota. So as I said, if any questions, comments, please let us know.